If you like what we do here on The Official, talking about college football prospects, talking about high school players headed into college from a fantasy angle, like and subscribe to this video and go check out campustocanton.com for even more information on college fantasy football, C2C leagues, as well as dynasty fantasy football content. All right, gentlemen, let's get into it. First on the list, I will take the lead here. Madden Iamaleava, brother of Nico Iamaleava, former five-star quarterback, now at Tennessee, about ready to head into his sophomore year. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if I overstated it, but I would say he's one of the hottest quarterbacks going into this year. People are expecting a heck of a lot after his bowl game. And so his brother Madden, though, less heralded, four-star prospect, and he is goes to the same high school out in California. UCLA commit. He's quarterback 11 on 3, 143 overall, 6'2", 190 pounds. So he's a little smaller. His brother was like, an Adonis, who's like 6'6", very huge, just hulking presence. And Madden's a little smaller. But then he goes to Warren, 36th ranked team in California, a 48 team power ranking with a 33 strength of schedule. So certainly decent strength of schedule there. Like I mentioned, UCLA commit. Let's take a look at some of the on-game film here. 47th percentile athlete, two-sport star with volleyball as his other sport, just like his brother. A max ball velocity of about 50 to 52, so right on that cusp. We want to see at least 52 or higher, so certainly not the strongest arm in the world. And a 4.6, 740, which isn't bad. He will run a little bit, but, his stats from his junior year were actually better than his brother's senior year. He completed 63% of his passes, 3,600 yards, attempted 311 passes, good for 11.7 yards per attempt, which is great. His brother, as a senior, I think only attempted, like 120 passes or something like that. So a lot, or 199. So a lot less attempts for his brother. 137 QBR. He also had 300 rushing yards, 13% rush yards market share for his team. We think he's going to be under 18 on National Signing Day. We like all that. I thought he had a twitchy arm. I thought he had a nice release. Maybe it's the lack of that 6'6" frame that his brother had, which kind of looked a little lanky and a little slow to get the ball out. I thought Madden was a lot more quicker with the release. He looks like he's got a lot of throws in his bag. You can see right there, great deep ball. He's got the ability to kind of thread the needle in short area, hit spots. I thought he was creative with where he placed the ball. I thought he had really good ball placement, kind of, what we like to say, throwing receivers open, putting the ball where only a receiver could get it, and things like that, which I thought was nice, splitting the safeties right there on that play. So, I'm not sure what there's not to like. I'm a little bit unclear, why his brother was so highly rated and he's less. Now, maybe it's the arm strength. Maybe it's the fact that he's not 6'6" and some giant presence on the field. But I think that the tape and the numbers to me are just as exciting. So if you like Nico, you should be in on Madden, in my opinion. I think the arm, if it doesn't get stronger, that's a little bit tough to project NFL. But I think in college, he can be pretty good. And my biggest problem is the UCLA landing spot. I don't really know what to expect of UCLA. That offense headed to the Big Ten. I'm very murky on what do I think about the landing spot, but I like the talent. I actually was very impressed. And first impression, almost liked him better than Nico, but I'm a noted, I was a bit of a Nico dissenter, although now he does look like he's going to make good on his prospect pedigree. But I was not a huge Nico fan, and I really did like what Madden brought to the table. Okay, that was a lot of speaking. David, you're up. What do you think of Madden Iamaleava?
Yeah, I figured you would like this guy, especially more than Nico, just because of his type. I think I like his mechanics. It's clean. It's repeatable. He looks accurate to me, especially those passes over the middle too, and those tight windows. Those impressed me. Not a lot of high schools actually even attempt those passes, so that's definitely a good sign. It shows some confidence as well. Yeah, like he's got a little twitch to him. I mean, his first year starting, he was uber efficient. 89th percentile yards per attempt, at 91st percentile adjusted yards per attempt, 137 QBR. I think I guess the one of the differences between him and his brother, like Nico, for a 6'6" guy, he actually averaged like 8.7 yards per carry, which is pretty impressive. You don't see that very
Yeah.
often with tall dudes. So I think that's like the sneaky thing about Nico. But 3.9 yards per carry for Madden. I think I just want to see an improved. Maybe he's going to start to peak athletically, and maybe he improves as a runner as a senior. That would be awesome. But I definitely think that I don't know when it'll happen. I don't want to like. I think if he stays at UCLA, I think he's going to be a starting quarterback in college. Like, I don't think he's just one of these guys that just like disappears. And I think like his ceiling would be like a day 3 NFL guy, maybe. But I don't know. I'm not super optimistic when it comes to quarterbacks in general. But I think at the very least, I can see him being a starting quarterback. That's saying a lot for me, at least.
No, I agree with you. And I think for anyone watching our show, we're usually pretty balanced. But when you're projecting high school players who, at this point, we have junior tape, we haven't even seen their senior year yet. If you can say this guy's definitely a college starter at the most important position, I mean, I think that does say a lot. So I agree with you there. And for anyone watching, like, we're not going to tell you every guy's a first round pick, but when you're interested in college production, when you're interested in college fantasy, yeah, being able to say this guy, you can draft him and expect starting production at least 2 or 3 years in college. That is saying something. Matt, you gonna throw cold water on this? Because I think given the fact he's like consensus QB 11, I think we're talking pretty well about Madden Iamaleava.
I wouldn't say cold water, maybe like slightly under room temperature water. I'm throwing at you.
Fair enough.
I like him, but I don't love him. I'm not really a guy I'm probably gonna be betting on for any NFL upside, unless we see something in college, of course. But I do think him going to UCLA, pretty wide open QB depth chart. Eric Bieniemy is now the offensive coordinator there, so I would expect it to at least be a functioning offense. With a pass heavy focus. So that definitely looks good for a CFF prop. So I'm definitely looking forward to that part of it at least. I think he throws a clean ball. Like David said, a little worried that he's not very mobile. Well, he is mobile in the pocket, but doesn't run very well. So I definitely want to see him clean that up. But I think he'd be a very productive college quarterback. Maybe get drafted day 3. Who knows? But yeah, not someone I'm really going all in on for their NFL upside.
Yeah, and then we have written here that didn't get an or didn't even attend Elite 11 regional, so we didn't get some of that high end competition to compare him to in a regional, and certainly not the finals. That's usually a red flag.
I will say I'm pretty sure at OT7 or one of the tournaments recently he did just win MVP, so he has been looking good.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, and I honestly was kind of impressed. It was like some of the guys we've looked at, I would bet on Madden to be more productive than some of these others, and that are ranked higher than him. So I kind of did like him relative to the field.